I'm sure being a person of color, specifically, what are you?
I am half Chinese and half white.
We get it!
You are?
I'm kidding.
She's a biracial girl. She's a biracial girl.
But yeah, obviously, being gay and being a person of color, it's like a whole nother onset
Double
of problem.
whammy.
Yeah, double homicide.
Double it! Double the trauma!
Double the price.
Double the price.
God. Not half, double. Then no sales. It's more expensive.
Therapy is way more expensive.
Oh my god. I'm a Chanel beer chain target.
Help me, I'm poor.
That's what I'm
But yeah,
concluding.
I mean, for some reason, Asians just seem to be the most fetishized race. Like, you have a whole term called yellow fever. I used to learn in university that, like, Asian people have the lowest cultural currency, meaning, yeah, like, one of the least desired race, just because, you know, racism. If you're not the perfect Aryan, you're flawed.
Okay, you're good to go.
Which is obviously not the case. But funnily enough, for a race that's meant to be having the lowest cultural currency, we are the most fetishized.
And also the most ignored.
Yeah.
Well, like, Asian women are the most fetishized. Really sad fun fact, but Asian men and black women are the least swiped on Tinder, which is not a surprise.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. I feel like you are probably experiencing both sides of the spectrum, like both extremes. Because there was a period where Asian men were the least desired, but because of the dawn of like K-pop groups and like white people even spending like thousands of money to look like K-pop stars, I think you're experiencing more like, oh yes, it's the era of the Asian men now.
Just a quick memo. Bella and I are not saying that white people are not allowed to like Asian pop culture. That is completely fine, and we encourage, you know, people to like things from all over the world. But it can be a problem when the people who like certain things like K-pop fetishize Asian people or expect Asian people to be that way, like I'll explain in a video. But I just want to make it really clear, my intention is not to say that people are not allowed to like certain things. It's just when there's a certain link that can be harmful to a community that is vulnerable. So hope we're on the same page. Thank you. For me, it's like two sides. So one, growing up, it was kind of upsetting because Japanese and Korean people are considered cool Asians. Because they have K-pop and anime, J-pop. They get fetishized a lot for that. Like, all Asians do, but it's really hard when you have all these white kids saying, I love anime and K-pop, and you're Chinese and you're not considered like a cool Asian.
Yeah. There's that thing where people are like, I'm not Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's so basic to be Chinese.
Like, oh, that's offensive to call me Chinese. It's like, ooh.
It's like, well, it's offensive to be offended by being called Chinese.
Exactly. Like, what's the problem with being Chinese? And it's also like Chinese are also seen as invading the country. That's one side, right? And the other side is that you can say it's like dawn of K-pop, which is great because we have so much more representation now. But the thing is, it's led to more fetishization. Because those K-pop boys have a very particular look, and Asian men were already fetishized in the gay community, but now with like anime and K-pop, it's like they want us to look a certain way. They see us as being like feminine and passive. Like, I get kind of turned off if I go on a date with a white guy who likes anime and K-pop because I already know he has this perception of me.
Yeah. Well,
and what does he like past anime and K-pop? Nothing. Like, he does not care about like Asian culture. It's just
he doesn't care about you as a person.
Yeah.
He cares about who can he speak to about anime.
Like, one time on Grindr, this guy was like to me, konnichiwa. And I was like,
Not this.
but I asked him, like, why do you find Asians attractive? Because in his profile, he said only Asians. And I was like,
God.
red
that
flag.
is
He wasn't even
problematic.
attractive, but even if he was, like, that's disgusting.
Pick a struggle.
Can you just be ugly or like Asians? Jesus! But I asked him, why do you only like Asians, like why do you preference Asian men or Asian boys, I suppose, because it's always young Asians. And he was like, oh, I just like their smooth, hairless bodies.
Call the police. We need to call the police.
There's,
But
look past the Asian, just like
do you experience it as openly
in real life?
in real
yeah,
life?
I
You
have.
do?
100%. People are a bit more aware now because you will get
You
cancelled
will
if
get
you do it in real
called
life.
out.
But quite recently, we're at Circuit, this gay club in Melbourne.
Melbourne.
And it was actually an Asian guy, so I was like, what do you do? Internalized racism. But he came up to me and like obviously he was like eyeing me and he was like, oh, I'm gonna get a taste of this snack. And I'm happy to dance with people and have fun, but once you like invade my personal space, that's it. Anyway, he was like pressing against me and I was like, oh, I'm not a very like I don't like conflict. I'm very like but what did he say? He's like, where are you from?
You're not from here, right?
No, I'm from South Carolina.
But you moved to South Carolina from where?
My mother's uterus.
We all had that, yeah.
Why do you care so much?
It's 'cause
Why
it's
do
like,
you need to
you're
know?
so exotic. My answer to that now is always like, I'm born here. I'm
Yeah, I always
Australian.
say up front, I'm born
Yeah,
here.
and then he was like, oh no, where are you actually from? Like, and I was like, Australia, but if you want to know my background, it's half Chinese. And then he was like, oh, but you don't look like that. And I was like, what the? Tell me what I look like. Like, who am I?
But I
dude?
didn't ask.
But he was just like trying to. It was like borderline sexual harassment, like full on like pressing against me, trying to touch me, trying to like kiss me.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
So that happened, and there's been guys who've like insist like, where are you from? And I think because I'm like, I used to be very timid when I first went clubbing, and people would feel free to touch me, and because I was like, I would just freeze up and be like scared. And I think that also comes with being Asian and Twinkie.
And there's already like
Small.
a stigma around both of that.
Exactly. They feel like they can touch you and do anything they want with you. And there's like a stereotype that like Asian men like older guys, older white men. Because that translates to Asian women liking older white men.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
That whole, oh, this is my visa, I mean my husband.
It's expensive to be made.
Basically, the experiences are online and in person. There's no
Telling you as a
response
sister that you lack self-awareness, quoting Candy Muse out here.
Oh my god. Ignorant.
Yeah.
But it does hurt going through profiles and seeing like it, not anymore because you will get cancelled if you are seen doing it. But if there's like no spice, no rice, no
Oh.
Asians, if you have an accent, like don't message me. I've seen that.
Well, all
like
of these
police-
rules
it's like-
and regulations,
yeah.
the policing.
The white gays really think.
That is a whole nother video.
No, it
the
is.
whole like pandering to the
White gaze.
white gaze, yeah, the white male gaze.
It's really disgusting. You still see it sometimes, but like when I first entered the gay community, when Grindr was like, new to me, there was so much of it. So much. Oh my god. So when I was on dating apps, this is actually really recent. This guy was messaging me. We're having such good banter, like talking about movies. He loved horror movies, talking about like where we've traveled.
Going well.
And then he was like, oh yeah, by the way, what's your background? Just randomly. I knew him saying that like out of nowhere. I was like, oh, he's been thinking about it. And then I was like, well, I'm half Chinese and half white. And he's like, oh, I thought you were South American. And never responded to me again.
I'm out of here.
And that's happened like a bunch of times.
Alright.
That's just like saying that like Asians aren't good looking. Like you don't think they're
Mhm.
good looking, but don't appreciate it. We love our Asianness, It's
I know,
part
I
of who
love
we
it.
are.
I mean, I've never denounced. Oh, maybe I have. No, I probably have. But this was like early days,
Yeah.
and you're conditioned to hate
I
yourself.
think every Asian has kind of done that when
Yeah.
they grow up in a Western country or moved to a Western country.
Yeah, but no, it is of no benefit to me or anyone else for me to be ashamed of myself.
But I was gonna say, one of my exes, the first person I dated, and I think I told him, I was like, oh, I've always been really insecure about my half Asianness, because I was bullied and stuff. And he was like, oh, that's okay, you don't even look that Chinese. You don't even look that Chinese. And I was like, that is not what you say in that situation. I was like, boy, you're meant to be like, no, being Chinese is awesome. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
When you talk, do you hear it? Or is it like a big roaring in your ears?
Because like there's this big, this will be another video, but there's this big debate about whether preferences are racist. And I always say yes.
That is touchy.
Because when people say like all Asians are unattractive, all Asians are attractive, it's like, do you even like have you been to Asia?
Seen all of Asia?
Exactly. It's like everyone look. It's just like white people. No one ever says I don't like white people. It's because they say, oh, but white people look different. It's like Asians look different. You just have a stereotype in your head. It's so annoying.
Are you crazy? That shit is so disrespectful.
So I have some fun facts about dating and being a minority in the gay community, being like a person of color. A minority within a minority, we love to see it. An astonishing 80% of black men, 79% of Asian men, and 75% of South Asian men have experienced racism on the gay scene.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm not even
That's
surprised.
sad.
Because when you come from an oppressed community, there is inevitably a lot of internalized homophobia, a lot of internalized racism, and that only becomes more pronounced when you get a group of people who are born inherently with a stigma. And when you put them all together, it becomes kind of like a self-hate pit of just, you know, trying to be, oh, I'm the better oppressed person, or I'm the better minority, you know?
Exactly.
But
And obviously
not everyone.
Yeah,
but
the
that
big
is-
reason for like that is because of also representation.
Yeah.
Like white people just be everywhere.
Roaches!
You know what I mean? Like Eurocentric beauty standards, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's shoved down our throats. Mulan live action didn't even do
They were all white people behind the scenes. The freaking costume designer was like, I went to China for 2 weeks and learned everything I needed to know. I was like,
I am the best person to create and produce this strictly Asian film.
oh, this was really interesting. This isn't a fact, but this is something that I read in the article. Apparently, a lot of South Asian men will get turned away from clubs because they don't look gay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna gatekeep this community.
Literally, it's like you're part of the problem. Like, Jesus.
I'm gonna extend the oppression. It's like, treating someone differently and purposely leaving them out because of who they are.
Sounds familiar.
To wrap this all up, what can we do from here? So, what do you wish us straight people knew about gay beauty standards? How can we help?
I don't know about straight people helping. Like, I feel like straight people, it's great for them to be allies and to, like, you know, help with protests, like, call out homophobia when they see it.
This sun setting is homophobic. Okay, so what do you wish more gay people were more mindful of about gay beauty standards? Go!
I just wish that people would be more informed. Everyone can be racist. Like, it's not only white
That
people.
is true. Minorities can be racist.
Really, it's bad sometimes.
Everyone's a little bit racist. All right.
All right.
All right. All right.
But I just wish so people would just be more like open-minded, look past stereotypes, and just inform themselves about the issues that are happening in our community. Because we do focus so much on the outside of like homophobia, which is something we should deal with, but also like
So start
It's
at
so
the
e-
root.
it's
Start
so-
with your with
yeah.
ourselves.
It's so easy
yourself.
to not take accountability for yourself as a minority. Like, you know, you think you're perfect because you're gay. Like, I'm gay. You're the one oppressing me. It's like, well, no, you can still oppress other people.
Oh, I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
But we grow and we learn. But
Growth.
we learn,
Self-awareness.
exactly.
Working on it.
Learn something from this.
Like, I feel like the gay community is like almost embrace the like vanity and like the body trauma and just like trauma in general, which is great. Like, that's owning it, but at the same time, you also need to do the reflection part, because if that doesn't come, then you just like traumatized.
But it looks sexy though.
Oh my god! But you're not happy. You can be both.
What if I told you you can be sexy and happy?
What is this new concept?
My beautiful enough for you.
But yeah, that's the main thing, I think. You know, there's no easy answers to like solve oppression and solve the toxic beauty standards in the community.
Yeah, it is
Um,
a process.
It's changing slowly, especially with social media and internet, like people bringing light to those issues. Very easy for you to like, you know, see that there are other people around you, and they may be different, but we're all the same on the inside.
Oh.
I guess that's it. So I guess we should wrap up the video now. Isabella's been a lovely hostess with the mostess.
Call me Nopra.
What?
I don't know. It's like Oprah, but no.
Cut.
Security! Can you please escort this lady over here out?
Thank you so much, Isabella, for providing those questions and doing all the research as well.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. This was really interesting for me.
Yeah, being like an outside perspective,
Yeah,
I liked that aspect.
And I understand, like, I cannot speak on gay issues, but all I can do is just do my research and just kind of educate myself as like what I'm doing with Quinlan. I try to get to know more than just him as a gay person, but I want to know him as a whole person.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Oh, we've got one. Our very own homosexual.
So next video is with me again, but this time my dating experience.
It'll be toxic beauty standards for women,
which I know y'all know is toxic, but I know I can like give my own little insight.
and being an Asian woman as well is very different.
I have some anecdotes, honey.
Yeah.
I have some stories.
Oh, tune in for that next time. But you've been lovely. I love Isabella
I love
so
you.
much. Thank you so much for watching the video if you've watched it for this long. I genuinely hope this video like taught you some things. I know a lot of the people who are watching this are my friends and queer people, and you've probably faced the same issues. So I hope the point of this video is to be informative and like raise some awareness and just like let people know that you're not alone. Take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, look after your well-being, love each other, and anything to...
Follow me at Bella Oliveria.
Yes, and follow me at Quinlan_Lee on Instagram if you'd like. And just, tell me if you've had any experiences with toxic beauty standards or racism and your own experience with body image. Thank you. Next to racism.
Yeah.
Bye!
Oh, me? Don't even make me sing. Like,
Really
stop,
don't.
everyone stop forcing me to
She's been
sing.
singing this
Seriously,
whole time,
stop
guys.
forcing
She ain't Beyonce!
Stop forcing me to sing. I'm not gonna do it. I'm so into you.
Okay, anyway, back to me. No. We get it, you can sing. Tell me you're Filipino without telling me you're Filipino.